Yeah. What is up, my people? Run It Back Nation, what is good? It's your boy DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. I guess that technically was an intro. I guess that technically is an intro. What's up, my people? I figured there's no Sixers game to recap. There's, some things we got to talk about. So we'll pop up live, hang out with the subscribers, man. And a little bit later, in a couple minutes, I'm going to post the link in the comments, link in the chat, and you can click the link, and you can come on the show, and we can have a conversation. What's up, Brian Santiago, TC, Giacomo, Aaron, Everyday EJ, Ricardo, TC, Bentley Cruz, Woo Woo, Don P, Philly 215. Shout out to the 215, Big Moose, Cody Scheffler, Bird Bricks. A couple Eagles fans up in here, man. That's good because we got to talk about the Eagles too, man. We definitely got to talk about the Eagles too, okay? First things first. Today, if you haven't heard, let me share my screen real quick. If you haven't heard, the Atlanta Hawks are trading forward Cam Reddish to the New York Knicks for a deal that includes a protected 2022 first-round pick via Charlotte. The Knicks also acquire Solomon Hill, 2025 second-round pick. And Atlanta receives Kevin Knox. Why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you about the Atlanta Hawks making a trade? Because this means something, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, RB, and Romp were just sitting up here live the other day while they were at their houses. I was the only one actually here. We were up here on YouTube talking about the NBA trade deadline, and some of us felt like the Ben Simmons thing is not going to happen, and some of us felt like Daryl Morey was going to wait until the offseason, and some of us were very pessimistic about this thing going down. But I'm here to tell you right now, because what I said then is what I'm going to say right now. As you get closer to the trade deadline, things happen because teams that are not as good as they thought they could possibly be, like the Atlanta Hawks, start to make moves. Like the 76ers, not as good as they thought they could be, or they knew they weren't going to be that great because we're dealing with the whole Ben Simmons situation. Tobias Harris fell off a cliff. Things need to happen. But as we get closer to the trade deadline, things are going to happen because desperate teams are going to start shifting things around. Daryl Morey is going to make a move. It's absolutely impossible for me to believe that Daryl Morey is going to sit here and let this go past the trade deadline. It's impossible for me to imagine that because I think Daryl Morey wants to win a championship. All right, he's done things as a GM. He's made moves. He's tried to win championships. He's known as a good GM. He's known as an aggressive GM. He the James Harden to Houston after Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. Big aggressive moves right off the bat. Bang, bang. That didn't work out with Chris Paul. He brings in Russell Westbrook. Obviously, that didn't work out because Russell Westbrook stinks. Some of you guys that subscribe to the channel don't like when I say that. I don't know why. The guy's awful. But anyway, Russell Westbrook lived on athleticism. He's now into his 30s. His athleticism is declining. He's a terrible shooter. You're seeing it right now. He got trolled by Memphis fans. I mean, come on, bro. Was it Memphis fans? He got trolled by somebody last night. Anyway, Daryl, it didn't work out with Russell Westbrook like who thought it would. He comes to Philly. He's here to make aggressive moves. He's not here to sit around. He's never sat around in his career as a GM. He's never done that. He took over the Rockets and said Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady are towards the end of their careers. Yao Ming had the foot injuries, all that stuff. He flipped picks and picks and picks to snag James Harden from OKC. Now, James Harden was just entering his prime. It was a absolute perfect timing to do that, but he's never sat around. And I don't think he's going to sit around this time. I think he's smart. I think he doesn't panic. He doesn't make panic moves. That's why when the Ben Simmons thing came out, And everybody said, oh my God, Rich Paul is going to force Ben Simmons out of Philly, and he's going to take Tyrese Maxey with him, and Rich Paul's going to ruin the entire franchise single-handedly somehow. And Daryl sat back in his chair and said, I'm Daryl Morey, bro. I ain't falling for that. I ain't falling for that. And he didn't. He sat back and said, you want to play this game? Let's play this game. And they started finding Ben. And then he pulled the mental health card, and they chose to stop finding him, apparently. I don't know what's going on there. But Daryl Morey's not one to sit around. It's not going past the trade deadline. And I think he wants to win a championship. I think he wants that to be part of his legacy, part of what he's known for. You know what I mean? You can have all the money in the world. There's still things you strive for. Like, that's the whole point of life, right? To be constantly having goals and constantly reaching for some achievement. Just because you're an NBA GM, you have a lot of money, doesn't mean you don't want to accomplish something. I think Daryl Morey wants to accomplish winning a championship or several. He's not stupid. And he knows, just like we know, Joel Embiid is in the peak. Maybe not the peak, but Joel Embiid is in his prime right now. If he can get better than this, that's a scary thought. But Daryl Morey knows that. We know that. We're regular everyday fans. We know that. Of course, Daryl Morey knows that. Of course, he sees the product on the floor and says, wow, this is not good enough. He's not sitting back smiling watching this. He's saying exactly what we're saying. This isn't good enough. When Joel goes to the bench, we're terrible. Without Joel Embiid, we're a lottery team, basically. We got to get him some help. But I think he's being strategic with this. But as we get closer to the trade deadline, you're going to start to hear some things. Not just this nonsense you've been hearing all offseason in the beginning of this season, a rumor here, a rumor there, this team, that team, this team, that team. You're going to start to hear some real things as you get closer. It's a little less than a month away, and we already got a major trade. Atlanta trades Cam Reddish to the Knicks. I don't know if Cam Reddish moves the needle for the Knicks. But this trade happening almost a month before the trade deadline tells me teams are going to get desperate. Teams are going to start making moves. That's what that tells me. There's something else I wanted to talk about here. Let's pop this back up here. 3 observations after the Sixers streak ends at 7 games despite Embiid's 31. What are the observations? What could the observations be? Well, the Hornets run his own defense and we didn't know how to handle it? How about not? Because you're going to get me copywritten. Let's see. The Twin Towers don't turn game. Yeah, you don't say. Doc Rivers playing Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond together at the same time for absolutely no reason. Embiid was called for 2 offensive fouls within 5 minutes. The first was for Mason charging Mason Plum. That was in the beginning of the game. Either way, I don't want to read this whole thing. Maxey back in the fold. He was good, then he fell off. Felt good to be back, get my win back. It was a good first step. It's going to take a little time. We know what we need to do, and I think we're not worried about the loss too much. Okay, cool. I like that. I'm not worried about that loss either. It was terrible. The team didn't look good. Doc didn't sound good after the loss. 34-year-old Danny Green stayed down. Oh, yeah, Danny Green did get hurt in that game. Harris had 3 turnovers early, including a crucial offensive foul and ball. Then he got booed. Doesn't say that in here, but he did get booed again. This is a quote from Embiid. Turnovers were mostly unforced. It looked like we were shy out there. That's what I said. I agree, Joel. It looked like we were shy out there. We didn't attack, especially against their zone. Somebody commented on the video and said, you guys were watching a different game than me because I didn't see them run a zone at all. What? Bro, they were running a zone the entire game. Joel Embiid just said it, especially against their zone. But they did what they did. They made a lot of shots, especially Gordon. He was hot. They moved the ball. They played together. That's why they beat us. But why? My question is why, Because I had the same observation after this game. And if Joel Embiid's going to say it looked like we were shy out there and we didn't attack, why? Why didn't we attack? Why aren't we attacking? Like sometimes Doc Rivers talks about this team, and it sounds like he's not the coach. It sounds like he's observing from the sideline. Like, yeah, they were slow out there. They weren't giving a lot of effort. Like you're the coach, man. Why don't you yell at him or something? Damn. Jeff Tezos, thank you for supporting Run It Back Philly, my guy. Would love to hear your prediction of who 2-5 will actually be traded for and when it'll happen. Prediction. Oh man, that's tough. I think there was another article today. This is on that same topic, of course. That said if Damian Lillard's out for the season, other NBA GMs are hopeful that will bring the asking price down for Ben Simmons. I don't know why. I don't know what one thing has to do with the other. But I think just like as we get closer to the trade deadline, teams are going to start to get desperate and offer things. Daryl Morey's going to bring his price down. He's going to. He's going to bring his price down. Something's going to happen. If I had to make a prediction, it doesn't sound realistic, I know, but it is very possible. I guess for the prediction, I'm going to say what I would want the most. All right. I'll go 1, 2, 3. Number one thing I want to happen, because the Celtics aren't good either. And we know, I'm not saying Brad Stevens knows, because he signed Al Horford and Josh Richardson for no reason, but we know they need to split up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You got 2 all-star level scoring wings, and you need to balance your roster. You got to move one of those guys, right? Am I wrong about that? Doesn't that make sense? You got to move one of those guys. It's 2 like very similar players. Doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. You need to balance the roster. Giacomo, do I say your name right, man? I got you on this. He said Simmons can't handle Boston. I totally agree. Ben Simmons would literally retire before he goes and plays in Boston. But a 3 or a 4 team trade lands Ben Simmons in Sacramento, lands De'Aaron Fox in Boston, lands Jaylen Brown in Philadelphia. There it is. There it is. Somebody tell Daryl Morey. Somebody tell him. Eastwood figured it out. Daryl, call Daryl. Daryl, I was just on Run It Back Philly on YouTube. DJ Eastwood figured it out. De'Aaron Fox to Boston. Ben Simmons to the Kings. Jaylen Brown to Philly. With Joel Embiid, if you add a 25 point per game, 6'7" all-star wing that you can give the ball to and say, go get a bucket, like last night against the Zone. Jaylen Brown makes moves. He can score. We don't have a player that's that size, that athletic. It would just be a perfect pairing with Joel Embiid. And I still think, I don't want to jump the gun on Tyrese Maxey from last night, but I still think it would be best for Tyrese Maxey to be a 6th man. I still think it would be best for us to somehow acquire a veteran point guard, whether it's Dennis Schroeder or somebody like that. I just think it's best for Tyrese Maxey to come off the bench at 21 years old and ball out and get buckets. You know what I mean? Don't know if Boston would go for that. I mean, I didn't put that much thought into it. That was just off the top of my head. A lot of first-round picks might be involved. If you got to give up Ben, a bunch of firsts, maybe the Kings have to give up first. I don't know. But that's a dream scenario for me. TJ, I think that lunch meeting with Rich Paul really was to bring Ben back. That's why the Twin Towers lineup was to stimulate 25 on the floor. Trust. I can't handle that. But when I saw the high-low action, when I saw Joel Embiid dump it down to Drummond under the basket. It was exactly how Doc used to run Ben and Joel. And he even got fouled pretty much intentionally because they knew Andre Drummond couldn't make a free throw. Same way they know Ben Simmons can't make a free throw. If Ben actually comes back, he's not coming back, man. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's not coming back, man. He's not. There's no way. There's no way he's coming back. There's just not. I can't picture that dude putting on a jersey and walking in front of fans at the Wells Fargo Center. Can you picture it? I can't picture it, man. I can't. Role player and Grant Williams won't be bad either. You want Fox more than Brown. Yeah, if you get Fox, then there's your, I'm not saying he's a veteran point guard, but if you get Fox, then there's a point guard. And then Maxey comes off the bench, and you could even experiment with lineups of De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Maxey together, and that's a shit ton of speed. Tyrese Maxey and De'Aaron Fox together. Am I wrong? Maxey is Fox? Fox is like a more developed version of Maxey. I got you. I like the difference of opinions on here. Protest if Ben comes back. I agree. If Ben comes back, I'm running down Broad Street in my undies. I don't know why or what that means. Oscar Lou, is that out of happiness or is that out of protest? I moved to CLT years ago. I swear if Ben comes back, I'm driving to Philly, buying a ticket to boo him even when he's on the bench. If Ben comes back, I'm buying a courtside seat. Buying a courtside ticket because I would have to be part of this. I would absolutely have to be part of this. Oscar Lou, okay, protest. You're going to protest by running down the street in your underwear. We all protest in our own ways, I guess. That bum don't want to lose any more money. He already lost $10 million. It's an insane amount of money. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane amount of money he lost. Irish, what is good? Thank you for supporting the channel. If Ben comes back, I'll stop watching the Sixers till they get rid of him. If Ben is here, we all know the outcome. That's it, too. Like, just because he's no longer here and we struggle in certain games, people are going to act like we miss Ben Simmons so much. We lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the second round. You know what I mean? We couldn't even beat the Atlanta Hawks, who just now traded Cam Reddish because they're not as good as they want to be. So where did Ben get us? Sixers are paying for Ben's wedding. I think Maya Jama is paying for Ben's wedding because he lost $10 million. $10 million. Crazy. Crazy. Tobias Harris on trade rumors. All right, so I was thinking, like, I was wondering when these trade rumors came out, Tobias Harris trade rumors, that it's like, you know, the Sixers are trying to package Tobias Harris or trying to move him along with Ben Simmons. I was wondering how he felt about that, like if he's a little bit offended by that. Is this? What is this, commercial? I got to watch a 30-second ad to see this Tobias Harris video. All right. Tobias for Bagley and Buddy in a heartbeat. There's no reason for the Kings to do that. Trade Ben for a bag of balls, addition by subtraction. I don't see how you... I see how you can trade Ben Simmons. I think Daryl Morey has to come down in price. But Daryl Morey has to come down in price on Ben Simmons, but Tobias Harris is absolutely impossible to trade. Not possible. Literally not possible.
Yeah, I mean, it happened early in the season when we were on the road in Utah. So I've been, kind of monitoring it. And, it's one of those things that I feel on every single day since then. But the the pain is durable enough to play with. But when the time is.
When did Tobias Harris get hurt? Because now, him absolutely stinking it up every night. I haven't heard this blamed on an injury the whole season until right now. Now, all of a sudden, Tobias Harris is hurt, and that's why he stinks. Then sit him down if he's not healthy, right? Because the way he's playing right now, he's not even giving maximum effort. He looks like he doesn't care out there on the floor. Tobias is depressed. Listen, it's hard for me to believe. I mean, I guess anybody can be depressed, but you wouldn't find me depressed with $180 million. You would find me smiling every day. How does Toby have right shoulder tendonitis? Are you kidding me, bro? He's exactly. I mean, tendonitis. I have tendonitis in my left shoulder, and I'm a little older than Tobias. I think that sounds weird for me to say that, but tendonitis in the left shoulder. I guess that's why he stinks as much as he does right now. But they should have told us that before, right? Or is that just I just had an epiphany? The Sixers, when is Fultz coming back? What? I don't know. Who knows, man? God, who knows? Maybe the Sixers, in an effort to try to trade Tobias Harris, are putting this out there so that he still has somewhat of trade value, right? Hey, we want to trade Tobias Harris. Oh, he's stink. Yeah, he's hurt. No, he's hurt. He's just hurt, guys. All right? Please give us something in a Tobias Harris trade. Please take this contract. He can still score. He's just hurt right now. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're trying to sell that he's injured so that he has some kind of trade value, I guess. Does he have any trade value? Really? I guess he's going to talk about the trade right here.
Right.
Or the trade rumors.
Look into some things to do for that. But right now I can manage through it.
Did you re-aggravate it in the Houston game?
Honestly, it's been re-aggravated like in numerous games. So
then why is he playing? How's he out here saying I'm hurt and it's been re-aggravated? Then why are you on the floor sucking it up? Why don't you sit down? I don't get it.
It's not like, it's not like make or break you. It's just irritating pain. More so when someone hits it or at the night sleeping is where I feel it the most.
Does it bother you at all to hear your name pop up in trade speculation like it has over the past week or so?
Honestly, that's something I'd rather not talk about. That already took too much energy out of me yesterday and today, and
he sounds so drained. That already took too much energy out of me yesterday and today. Why did that take energy out of you? Your name pops up. Like, here's the thing. Tobias Harris is not stupid. Tobias Harris knows that he's on a max contract and is not playing like a max player. Right? He has to know that, right? So why would he be any somewhat surprised? Why would he be any amount surprised? What am I trying to say? Why would he be at all surprised to hear his name come up in trade rumors? Unless my guy Romp is correct and Tobias Harris actually thinks he is a max player and actually thinks he is an all-star level player, then he'd be surprised, I guess. How could he not know it's probably in the Sixers' best interest to get rid of that contract? How could he be that oblivious to that? So his name pops up in trade rumors, and he says it took too much energy out of me yesterday and today. Is he stressing? Lewis, thanks for supporting the channel, man. Hey, man, shout out to you. Love that you're back. Thank you. I'm happy to be back. It was a little bit of a downer for 2 months, all right? But we're here. Okay, and I'm trying to get back in the algorithm, so everybody in the stream hit the like button to help me out. Adi B, I missed you too. Thank you for the love. Why does Toby always sound like he's on weed? Stay off the weed. Duh. Nah, it's just his personality. He's mad, chill, and laid back. That's just how he talks. But he does sound a little bit down. He sounds like he knows he's about to be traded or something.
Me yesterday and today, and I just move on from that. But it's my 11th year in the NBA. It's not my first rodeo. It's not the first time that I've been in trade rumors, and probably won't be the last. So that's that.
Aren't all NBA players on weed? Well, fair enough. I think actually 75% of the country or more is on weed, actually. Maybe more than that these days, man. Everybody's got a little Penske in their pocket. You know what I mean? Not me, though. Not me, though. All right, listen. Here's the question. I'm going to post the link in the chat. If you want to pop up on the show, you pop up on the show, and we'll have the conversation. There's one rule. There's one rule. You have to have headphones. If you're not wearing headphones, your voice will echo on the show. You have to have headphones, either, plugged into your phone or whatever. You got headphones, click the link, you pop up, we have a discussion. We have we're over 40 members on the channel currently. When we get to 100 members, this is going to be the style of the members only live streams that we're going to do once a week, where you can come in, pop up on the show, have the conversation. We'll chop it up and chill. It's going to be members only live stream once a week. Once we hit 100 members, we're a little bit over 40 members right now. $5 a month. You spent more than that at Starbucks this morning. Become a member, and you'll be able to join the future members only live streams, members only videos, and 20% off the merch store and custom emotes. $5 a month. Where's the link at? Invite, copy to clipboard. Boom. Can I pin it? Well, I put the link in the chat. I don't think I can pin the link though. But there's the link. Wait, I can put it in the description, right? Can I edit the description? Oh, yeah, I can put it. Okay, I can put the link in the description. What is this? Get out of the way. Broadcast must be scheduled in the future within 1 year. What? Is the link in the description? Hey, we got some people, man. We got some people. Lewis, what's going on, man? You in the car.
Oh, hey, dude. What's going on?
What's up, bro? Chilling.
Yeah, I'm from New Zealand. I watch your content for a while now.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
I've been a Sixers fan since. Sorry, what?
Looks nice in New Zealand. Is it nice out?
Yeah, dude. It's hella sunny. It's summer here because
Damn.
we're like southern hemisphere. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. This was a surprise. Thanks for putting me up. But
no problem.
yeah,
You're a Sixers fan in New Zealand.
Oh well, I'm originally from the Philippines, right? I moved here when I was like 15, but I have been watching AI, of course,
Hell
back
yeah.
in 1999, all the way. Yeah, I'm 30 years old, so you know what I mean? So it's all relative, I guess, think about it.
So you follow the Sixers right now, correct?
100%, yes.
So what do they need to do right now?
Get rid of Toby and Ben, in my opinion. And like, I mean, you've said this So I guess there's really nothing for me to add on to whatever you've said in the past because it all makes sense to me. That's why can I curse here or
Yeah.
that's why I fuck with your content. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So they need to get rid of Toby and Ben. What do you think they need? What do you think is possible?
I think they need to revisit that Golden State thing. I don't think Golden State will be hot with it though, but that could be a thing.
We're talking Andrew
should have been
Wiggins.
a thing, right? Yeah, or even Jordan Poole in there, but like I don't think they're gonna let that dude go. But
Yeah,
one
Jordan
can
Poole
wish
might be
plays
the
back. So like you know what I mean? Like they need that defense guy with Ben. So why not? You know what I mean?
True that, man. True that. Hey, man, shout out to New Zealand. I'm going to get to some other people. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for pulling me up, dude.
I'm
See ya.
jealous of the weather. Later. Man, it's like 5 degrees over here. This guy's going to pop up in his car with the top down. Mr. Crockpot, what's up?
What is up, man? What's going on?
How are you, man? We need to collab sometime anyway, so here you are. For
Oh,
those who
man.
don't know, this is Mr. Crockpot from The Painted Lines.
Yes.
Oh, man, I almost messed that up. The Painted Lines. And he's the one that posts the highlights on Twitter that I hijack and put on my stream sometimes. So thank you for that.
Appreciate you, bro.
What you got for me, man? What give me your opinion on everything with the Sixers, man. I don't know.
Dude,
I need help.
I think it is what it is, dude. The team is not good, man. Every single fucking time I watch this game, the Sixers on TV, I'm waiting to who's going to kick me in the nuts tonight. Is it Doc or is it going to be Tobias Harris? That is really what it sums up. The team is not athletic. The team when they play a team like the Charlotte Hornets, which is one of the best teams in transition, they look fat, slow, and they're going to get run off the court. Like teams like Toronto, a playoff series, this team is going nowhere. They're bad. They're among the bottom of the league in pace. It is what it is. Until a trade is made, they're just boring. And that is the facts. And I'm sorry, but Daryl Morey is putting this trade on a pedestal. And unless this move is like worth it, his cred is up there because this team doesn't have the athletes, the personnel on this roster to challenge in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When you talk about teams like even just the Charlotte Hornets or Toronto Raptors and a lot of very athletic teams, and we're just going to get ran out of the building. I mean, it's Joel Embiid can only do so much. So we won 7 games in a row, right? Were we just playing 7 teams that are also unathletic, or
no? You're what you have is a player that is a transcending player in Joel Embiid. You have a guy that is playing beyond anything we even imagine right now. Joel Embiid has taken this team, and he is playing better than any basketball he has in his career. What he has done is terrific. It's mind-numbing. It's truly mind-numbing what Joel Embiid means to this Sixers team. He is the MVP of the NBA, hands down. You look at his points, second most in the NBA over the last, 8, 9, 10 games. For me, it boils down to, this team just doesn't have the perimeter players to support Joel Embiid down low. They can't stop teams in transition. They can't stop guards in the pick and roll. They're just going to get eaten alive with their lack of athletes on the perimeter.
I completely agree. It is one of our biggest tests, Miami on Saturday.
I mean, that's another team that is up there in transition. So yes, that this is kind of what you're going to see for the rest of the season. And I think Sixers fans are just going to have to kind of fasten their seatbelts because this is what it is. Until Daryl Morey makes a move, this team is boring. Unless it has to do with Ben Simmons, no one cares about the Sixers anymore. It is bare bones. It sucks.
True.
It sucks. It sucks to be a Sixers fan right now because the team is dead. Outside of Seth Curry and Joel Embiid 2-man game, outside of Tyrese Maxey and that Joel Embiid rolling to the basket, maybe you get some kind of potential there. moving forward. There's nothing to root for with this team. This team is old. This team is slow. This team can't keep up with the rest of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, you're right. When I think about it, the interactions and the views being way down, I'd say like most of the we'll say casual fans, like fans that casually watch Sixers games, are literally not watching it right now, right? They're like, I'm not watching that. They're like, whoa, I'm not going to see anything. I mean, I would watch it just for, even if I was a casual fan, I would watch it just to watch Joel Embiid. But the interest is not there right now because the team is like stuck.
It's the way they play, man. It's either two-man game between Seth and Joel Embiid. That's all good. Either or that, or throw it to Tobias Harris with the shot clock, raining down. Like it is either is the Tobias Harris versus shot clock is a battle of the ages, man. We're gonna talk about it for years and years and years. But Tyrese Maxey, we need to see him get more touches moving forward because let's be honest, man. This team it is capped out. This team, what you're watching right now, that 7-game win streak, I'm glad whoever enjoyed it. This team isn't going anywhere. They're a shoe-in for the playoffs. They're going nowhere.
Damn. I love the brutal honesty, man. I love it. So my biggest fear, obviously, is the Ben Simmons thing going past the trade deadline. What do you think? Realistically, do you think it happens at the trade deadline? Do you think Daryl's price comes down and he makes something happen, or do you think he's going to sit this out the whole season?
We're sending out to James Harden. I think that is the plan. Whether it's a trade, whether it's a signing, whether you just get rid of Ben Simmons and you bring on James Harden, I think that is probably ultimately the biggest bet moving forward for the Sixers.
Man, well, I didn't want to hear it, but I needed to hear it.
It's not great, man.
Thanks for popping up, my man. We'll collab sometime for sure. Love the energy.
Let's go.
I'm trying to be a little bit positive, and man, Crockpot just nailed me with honesty right there. Holy wow. I'm depressed thinking about this going past the trade deadline. I really am. TJ, what's up, my man?
Hello, DJ Eastwood. Welcome back to
bro?
the YouTube world. We missed you.
Thank you, sir. It's nice to be here, man. It's nice to be back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back on your show, man. And I want to talk a little bit about the Sixers, but also about the Eagles game coming up this weekend.
Oh,
and, I'm also going to the Bengals game this weekend against the Raiders, so that'll be an interesting atmosphere. Hopefully,
you're going to the Bengals
playoff win.
You live near there?
Yeah, I live near Cincinnati. Yeah, I live around there. So, I'm a Bengals and Eagles fan. I kind of softly cover both teams on my podcast, the TJ Martino podcast. Soft plug.
Nice.
But yeah,
shout out to the TJ Martino podcast, everybody. Go subscribe to the TJ Martino podcast. As a Bengals fan, it's nice for you recently since they've sucked forever.
We've been in the mud, man. I'll tell you what. We've been in the mud.
It's nice to have a young stud quarterback and a top 5 or 10 wide receiver, right?
Oh man, I mean it, and I honestly predicted this year because I am not a fan of Zach Taylor or Nick Sirianni. Both coaches, I think they kind of run a similar trajectory, even though Zach Taylor has a little bit more under his resume in terms of coaching. But I've not been a fan of Zach Taylor this year in his play calling, but I just think this team has so much talent that it's overriding his poor decision making and situational management, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a surprise year. I thought the Bengals were going to win about 5 or 6 games this year. That's what I predicted. And they've totally blown me out of the water in that regard.
That's where I had the Eagles, and I'm hearing about it every day now.
Yeah, I had the Eagles at about 4 or 5 wins. So
yeah. So do the Philadelphia Eagles stand a chance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday?
Yeah, I do think they do, man. I Tampa Bay, for me, I just think the thing is that they're going to exploit the zone coverage that the Eagles play a lot. And Jonathan Gannon, for me, he's going to be the real decision maker and deciding factor for this defense and for this team in the playoffs. Because, I mean, that's the thing. People say the common phrase is defenses win championships, right? So, with that being said, it's really going to come down to is this team going to be able to play reliable zone coverage? Because Tom Brady, man, we've seen him absolutely roast zones, and this team a lot, especially in the football team Washington game. I noticed a lot that they were giving up the middle of the field on a lot of plays defensively, and it allowed Heineke to kind of exploit that and move the ball down the field. I mean, remember, they were about to score in that game and take the lead, so it's like, had we not made a big play there because of the zone coverage, I guess, it could have turned south. So I don't know. With Brady, it's a different animal, and he's going to come, he's going to play, he's going to make plays, and there's going to be a lot of dumping to the tight ends, dumping to the flat, into the hook a lot, and really trying to exploit those linebackers. So it's going to be interesting. But I think there's definitely a really good chance, and it's just going to come down to the Eagles' offense to run the football, man, run the football.
Yeah. When you think about Tom Brady, see, I think there is 0% chance that the Eagles can beat the Buccaneers on Sunday, and I'm going to tell you why.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
Well, you kind of just said it. Tom Brady over the middle of the field, and the Philadelphia Eagles have given up the middle of the field the entire season.
Right.
And
the entire year.
You add in Gronkowski matched up with our linebacker
on the
core.
post.
I really think Tom Brady. This isn't like, a lot of people, well, what happened last time we played Tom Brady? That was a totally different defense.
Yeah.
I am afraid this is going to be very easy for Tom Brady to drive right down the field.
And the Buccaneers have a very good run defense, and that's the thing. If they can just make Nick Sirianni panic to the point where he's like, I'm in a playoff game, I need to get aggressive, I need to throw the football, and then he reverts back in a week 1 through 4 Sirianni, where he's just, tossing balls into double coverage. And I mean, yeah, part of that's Hurts' fault too, but like, the play design for a lot of these things is not getting a lot of these young receivers that don't have a lot of confidence, dunk plays where they can dump them out to the flat and instead they just do a lot of screens and like try to get the ball out that way. Like they should do a lot more, whip routes and drive routes and really get these guys moving and get the ball in their hands instead of, a lot of stopping routes too they run. And I think they should really focus on like some plays for Devontae down the field to kind of set that whole offense up. And that's the thing. I mean, they've tried a little bit.
I don't want to cut you off right there, but I don't want to forget to say this because
go ahead.
What you just said right there. I think they do try to get plays for Devontae down the field. I think the quarterback can't launch the ball down the field. He can't.
Yeah, that's been part of it. True, that's fair.
It sucks when I say that, and people don't want to hear that. He can't launch the ball down the field. He can't.
Yeah, I was about to get into that.
And when he does try to launch it, it takes his entire body, and it's still like Devontae still has to come back for the ball. So,
and a lot of times he's thrown on the run too, and like because a lot of the time they're doing a lot of these rollouts, which I kind of called for at the beginning of the season. But like practically speaking, it's working a lot better than I thought it would. But yeah, Jalen's arm on the run is just kind of questionable, and his deep ball, you're right, it is kind of an issue, and I think it's going to be easily exploitable.
Yeah, I think you can do things with Jalen Hurts, but when you talk about Devontae Smith, he needs a guy with a cannon. What I mean? He needs a Donovan McNabb that 1st and 10 just launches it 65 yards.
Right.
And Devontae would probably have 1,300 yards receiving this year. But I'm not here to hate on Jalen Hurts. I think he does the most with what he has, and I think Nick Sirianni figured out how to do the most with what he has. But
right. Because he's used him. I think the smart thing is that he's building off what you said. I think he's used the run threat of Jalen Hurts a lot more effectively. And that was something I was calling for. I'm like more design runs, more of the run threat. If you're going to do the RPO, just go into it full and run like a college style offense. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to do like as fast of a pace, but like just trick the defense and get easy, plays to your playmakers out in the open field. And I mean, I think that's definitely something they've expanded on. And especially with, having the run be as successful as it has, it's opened that game up. So like I said, I mean, I think there's definitely a possibility, but I agree. Jalen Hurts in a playoff atmosphere against the Bucs defense, who's already been hardened through, hard fights in the playoffs last year. It's not looking exciting. I think there's going to be some turnovers.
I'll be more than happy if I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Real quick, give me your thoughts on the Sixers. What is going to happen at the trade deadline? Because Mr. Crockpot just buried me in my own grave.
Yeah, I listened. Yeah, and I'm not as I've been pretty pessimistic on the Sixers for a couple of years now. But I mean, honestly, I think there is a lot more of a silver lining to see here, and that is that we have young athletes, we have young guys that we can actually, develop. And look, they're definitely flawed. I don't think Thibault and is going to ever have an offensive game and all that. Like, yeah, we can go down those rabbit holes, but like I think that there is a young base here. It's just it all is for me. It's coaching and leadership, and not necessarily from Joel Embiid, but like from the Sixers organization as a whole, and the precedent they're setting with Ben Simmons, I think has just been really ugly. But I mean, in terms of what they need to do, they need to dump the salary of Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris as soon as possible. And honestly, you're not going to get all-stars. So just get guys that can fit in this offense and make shots, get shot makers. I think a good guy would be Joe Ingles, if they can make that deal happen. I don't know if Utah would even want that, but like, I don't know, something like that, like for Tobias Harris or something, I think that just guys that fit in the offense, they don't necessarily need to be all-stars. They don't necessarily need to be the guy, but just get shot makers, Lou Williams types guys, they're out there, and take a stab on some of these young guys. But you got to get off the salary. That's the number one thing. I mean, these are the two worst contracts in the NBA. So it's just, it's going to be hard to dump them, and you're going to have to take an L, but you reap what you sow. And that's all.
Exactly.
Honestly, you got to take the L. And that's the thing. They're just not taking the L.
Right. I like that you said that, because a lot of people are still on this, like, if it doesn't get us over the hump, we can't do it. If it's not a superstar, we can't do it.
Right.
If this, if that, we can't. What are we getting by not doing it? We got a player that's averaging 17 points a game and a player that's not playing. We don't have a choice. We have to do it. You're absolutely right. If you got to do a mini 3-year rebuild, and hopefully Joel Embiid's still in some sort of his prime in 3 years, but at some point, if you're not getting a superstar,
the hourglass
if you're not
is
getting a
ticking.
superstar, you have to get rid of those contracts. You have to be able to fill out the roster with other players that are contributing to the team.
Exactly. No, and yeah, that's the thing. I think it's just, they gotta just take the L on this, and they gotta take the L to the face. And I think the fans will respect them more if they just say, look, we messed up. We overpaid Tobias, which, everybody was saying at the time, even though we were like, maybe he can become a 25 point per game scorer now because he's got the big contract, but he's kind of taking the money and running. So it's like, and especially after that interview you just showed, that was pretty disheartening. I mean, and I said he sounded depressed because, like, yeah, I mean, he just it sounds like the air is just completely sucked out of that balloon, man. Yeah. Especially if you look at his interviews before the season where he was, kind of talking up like he was going to be the man. And like, we were all kind of like, hey, let's see it. And, he is what he is. And he's a bad contract, and you got to just take the L and move on. Kind of like the Wizards did with John Wall. You just got it didn't work out. And same thing we did with Markelle and other L's. I mean, we've been just taking a lot of L's, and I think we just got to we got Morey, we got these guys. I think we should just kind of sit back and build off Maxey, build off our young guys. Like I said, we got young talent to build off of here. It's just getting the right pieces around them. And like you said, Joel, though, he's on the clock, and we got to get, at least some guys that can contribute with the money that Tobias and Ben Simmons are just sucking out of our franchise right now.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Thanks for your insight, man. I'm going to get to some other people. I appreciate
Absolutely. And I'd love to have you on my show as well at some point.
Yeah, man, I'll keep in contact with you. We'll do a whole episode together. There's a lot more we could have talked about, definitely.
Sure.
Thanks, brother.
Sounds great.
Later.
Yep.
I want to address this really quick, okay? Kyle says he's happy that you live in Ohio. Crazy talk. Hindsight is 2020, and never hate on a guy getting his bread. See, this is when people say that when we talk about NBA salaries and salary caps and how a player is being overpaid and underperforming, people think we're hating on them making money. I'm not hating. Of course, Tobias Harris should go get his money. If you offer me $180 million to do absolutely nothing, I would do that with a smile on my face. We're talking about players' money because it's an NBA salary cap. You have to manage the money to get the best possible players on the roster. That's why we're talking about how much he's being paid, not because we think he shouldn't have taken the money or something like that. But that's just my opinion on that, my man. Seth, what's up?
Yo, Rock. Eastwood, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on with you, dude?
Chillin'.
My bad, dude. You caught me coming out to Domino's, man.
It's all right. You delivering pizza or are you picking up a pizza?
I'm picking up, man. Picking up.
Oh, what's up, man?
Give me yeah, I didn't know in New Zealand. I was a little Yeah, I didn't know New Zealand. It's cold out here, but I don't got the top down like the other dude did. But
He just popped up top down tank top. I'm like, what?
yeah, man. Dude, I was jealous as hell when I seen that dude. I'm like, oh man, this dude's living the best of the life.
Must be nice. New Zealand,
But
must be nice.
man, listen, dude. Oh my God, dude, I can't imagine, man. But listen, man. That bull, I just don't understand. I get he's a YouTuber and all, but how are you a Bengals and an Eagles fan, bro? I just don't. I'm not understanding that one, bro.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens.
You know? I mean,
I actually have another friend.
It does. He's
I actually have another friend that I used to work with that's a Bengals and an Eagles fan. I don't know.
Really?
But I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's
of the
a weird
Bengals
combo,
currently.
man. You would have never thought. You know what I mean?
I think it's liking a team, and then I think
so
it's
am I,
liking
dude. Jamar G.
What you got? Well, give me something on the Sixers.
Yeah, it's here, man. Listen. This team ain't going nowhere, bro. With what we currently have. Man. I know people want to be optimistic and say, "Oh, yeah, we'll be good with just Embiid and this," but listen, man, Embiid's out there killing himself, dude, killing his body, putting everything on the line for this city, man, and for this team, and he's just not getting no help.
Yep.
And I really hope it's not like another AI situation where we just had this dude spend his whole career here and get nothing from it, man.
Yeah, we got to avoid that completely. There's something that has to happen to avoid that from happening for sure.
I agree 100%. Just like I don't really see who we're getting. Like we already know Tobias Harris he's like damn near untradeable. We already know that's probably not happening. But I really don't think we're getting anything that like people are saying Jaylen Brown and Bradley Beal and all these people for 2.5. We're not getting them kind of guys for 2.5.
Damn.
Do you agree with me on that? Or do you really think we can get like a star player for 2.5? Like I could see if we trade like a couple first round picks and Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle, we might get a pick like that. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because you got to
we're
look
just
at it
not
like this.
getting them bare bones, like player for player. You know what I mean?
No, not player for player, not at all. No, but you got to look at it like, Tyrese Maxey's nice, Matisse Thybulle's nice. All these players are nice, but if you're looking at it and you're saying that's not good enough for Joel Embiid, you're going to package those guys in a heartbeat for a star player. And especially, I don't care about first round picks at all. Like you can give up the next 5 years of first round picks if you're getting a star in return, because that's what you do, right? You give it all up to get a star. That's what I think.
No, 100%, dude. I would mortgage our whole future to get like a Bradley Beal or Jaylen Brown, dude. Because again, we're playing for right now. We're playing for Embiid's prime. We're not playing for 5 years down the line when he's retired.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that's what Daryl Morey does. I'm hoping it's finally just a big splat, one of the biggest Woj bombs you've ever seen. Like one of the ones that's like 10 tweets in a row. You know what I mean? And Philadelphia is also giving
dude, I swear,
2027,
that would be like my 2029, 2032, first round pick. I'd be all right with it, dude. I'm telling you, man. We need to do something because I've been a Ben supporter since day one too, but I've always been a huge Joel fan. Like, he's always my favorite player on the Sixers. So we got to do something for this man, dude. We got to.
Yeah, we do. I agree, man. You got anything else for me? Are you an Eagles fan?
Oh, dude, come on, yeah. I'm born in Philly, raised in Derby, right outside of Philly. I'm right outside of Island Avenue, if you know that area at all. So
nice.
I'm a ride or die, man. Sixers, Eagles, Flyers, Phillies. Like that's all I watch is Philly sports, man.
Can the Eagles upset the Bucs on Sunday? Yes or no question.
Listen, man, I try to be as optimistic as I can be, dude. We're playing the GOAT Sunday, bro. I don't think really no more needs to be said. Jonathan Gannon as your defensive coordinator, and you're playing the GOAT. Good luck winning that game, dude.
Yeah, we're going to need a different – if it's going to happen, it's going to have to be a totally different Jonathan Gannon. And playoff Tom Brady is
We're gonna have
playoff
to like
Tom
bring
Brady
his
is different.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. I mean, even my girl knows that playoff Tom Brady's a whole different beast than regular season Tom Brady.
Well, we'll see what happens, man.
We
I
might
just
have
hope they
to
I just want them to put up a fight.
I don't know, get Jonathan Gannon's little brother. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's as long as it's a good game, I'm happy, man. But I mean, I'm never gonna sit here and say that I don't want my Eagles to win, but it's going to be a tall task, man. Biggest, hardest game of the year, no doubt about it. You know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
But thanks for having me on, man. I just joined you. I've been watching you for a long time, but I just joined you, so I'll catch you, man. Keep up the good work, dude.
All right, bro. Thanks for being a member. Later, bro. My man, Mitch.
Yo, what's good?
What's going on, Mitch?
Dude, welcome back to YouTube. It must have felt so weird being gone for 2 months.
Oh, man, it was awful. It was the worst thing I could have ever done, man. It was terrible. I'm not
That's
kidding.
just
People don't even
insane.
realize it was horrible. Like right now, it would be 10 o'clock at night, and I would have absolutely nothing to do.
Oh my god.
I didn't have anything to do for 2 months. It was terrible.
Dude, I make a video every single day for over a year since last November. I know exactly. If I lost my channel, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, and it was hard to even stay motivated. It was hard to even like care about watching the games too, because I was so locked in on watching the games and giving analysis. And then it's like, why am I even going to watch this? I can't talk about it on YouTube.
Exactly,
we're
man.
back. We're back.
That's exactly how I feel. So
We're back.
what's
Mitch.
going on?
You've been grinding on YouTube also, man. Shout out to you. Good
Thanks,
job on
man.
the
Much
channel and all that.
appreciated.
You know, what do the Sixers need to do? What do you think's realistic? What do you think's realistic? Because I can't handle this going past the trade deadline.
I agree. I mean, I completely agree with that. Tobias needs to go. And people are telling me that if you trade Tobias, we're in complete rebuild mode. And I had Broads on my channel the other day, and he's like,
Yeah, I gotta go watch that too.
Yeah, I had Broads on, and he was like, Mitch, if we have Embiid, we're not rebuilding at all. We're not rebuilding. We have a top 5 player in the league, so gotta get rid of Tobias, man. He looked depleted. I've never seen him like that before in my life.
Yeah, he looks defeated. He sounds defeated in the press conference, man. Like what is he doing?
Yeah.
I don't know how you get rid of him though. You know what I mean? I mean, I think I've said it 100 times, but it has to be the Al Horford type of situation where you give somebody a first-round pick to take the contract, I guess.
I mean, whatever it takes. We're trying to win right now, not like down the road. I would trade Maxey, Thibault, and a couple picks for like Beal or somebody. We're trying to win right now. It's common sense.
Ben, Maxey, Thibault, and picks. Yeah, you're right, because Sixers fans would be irate. Like they would be mad, especially the casual, like all of our players are the best players type of fans. They would be mad. But again, we're watching this team and the supporting cast just isn't good enough, no matter how much we like them as young players.
No, it's not. I mean, our bench is inconsistent. I mean, you have Milton doing whatever. You have Korkmaz doing Korkmaz things. So it's just like, what is our bench really doing? And Drummond, he's like your most consistent player, and that's sad. And Danny Green, don't even get me started with Danny Green. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I mean, Danny Green just needs to go somewhere, man. He's awful. He's got nothing left. Hey, Key in the building. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that.
Yep. Shout out to Key, Spotlight Sports Network.
Do you think something happens at the trade deadline, or do you think it goes past the trade deadline?
I would wish it could be done by trade deadline, but knowing Maury, if we trade Tobias by the deadline and then deal Ben Simmons by the draft, I could be okay with that, or vice versa. But gotta get rid of at least one. Gotta get rid of at least one on the trade deadline.
How how is Ben's value going up by waiting past the trade deadline? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't get about it.
It's not,
not-
going up at all. Like,
If you're not,
at all.
you're right. If the highest offer you get at the trade deadline is not going to be any higher in the offseason, right?
No. Maybe trade Ben by the deadline and keep Tobias by the draft. Like, either way, their value is going down. So, I don't know. It's tough. And then you have Doc Rivers making these rotations. It's like, what do we do here?
Faust Out Loud says not trading Maxey for anything besides Lillard, but that's not happening. Maxey's our next AI. Listen, I love Tyrese Maxey.
I do too.
Allen Iverson was the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft by a long shot. He was an absolute superstar from day one. He was rookie of the year by a long shot. Tyrese Maxey's not even close. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love the kid. It's not even close to Allen Iverson. Do you picture
His
Tyrese
value
Maxey?
is so much higher. Like, you got
I
to.
love Tyrese Maxey. I think he can become an all-star, but Allen Iverson was on a different planet.
Dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Can the Eagles beat the Buccaneers on Sunday?
I got it 50-50. 50-50 with the weather. You know, the run game is there. But you're going up against the GOAT. So I'm like, just that alone. Sure, they're missing pieces here and there. It's going to be tough. So I had the Buccaneers winning 24-21. I think it will be a close game.
You think it's going to be a close game? You said you got the Bucs winning 21-20?
No, 24-21.
24-21.
I think
I
it'll be
wish I
that
could
close.
say this. So
It's Jonathan Gannon, isn't it?
right.
It
And
is.
Jonathan, and we had Jonathan Gannon in the same defense in week 6. And if you watch that, the Bucs stopped playing in the second half. But the first half, they were up 20-6 without breaking a sweat. That's regular season week 6. If that team's round 1 of the playoffs, what are they going to do to us? They did 20-6 in the first half of a regular season game. What are they going to do to us in the playoffs? Like, I just don't see it. It's not about the offense for me. I think the Eagles offense can get some things done with the run game. It's the defense and the Jonathan Gannon scheme that got torched by the Bucs in the first half of week 6. And I just think it's going to happen again on Sunday.
Yeah, it gets torched. And when you don't blitz, it's like that's a flag. And when you have a cover 4
Exactly.
on your 3-yard line, that's another flag. I mean, what the hell? At least we're not the Giants doing QB sneak on 3rd and 9. At least we're not doing that.
Common sense things. Cover 4 on your own goal line. God. It's like he took Jim Schwartz's defense and did it even worse than he did it. Like the typical, it's 3rd and 7, and we got guys playing 12 yards back. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Jim Schwartz excuses were that he doesn't have and he said it, that he doesn't have the personnel. So is it that these guys are trying to just do what they think they can with a lack of talent?
I don't know. It's like,
You know what I mean? It's
It's
like, yeah, my
difficult.
scheme sucks. My scheme sucks, but give me some linebackers, you know, like give me something to work with here.
you know what's funny? Jonathan Gannon is getting interviewed for head coaching jobs. So what are they seeing that we're not seeing, that we watch the games every time? What are they saying? What are they seeing?
Yeah, that's weird. And listen, that's weird. I don't know how Miami fired their coach after 2 winning seasons in a row. The NFL doesn't make sense. Just professional sports don't make sense. You got rich people owning teams that have no clue what they're doing. That's part of the problem with a lot of franchises. You know what I mean? If Miami fired their head coach and Jonathan Gannon gets a head coaching job, I know nothing about football anymore.
Honestly, if it were to happen, I have Gannon going to Jacksonville. If it ever were to happen, I have him go to Jacksonville.
Wow, that's interesting, man. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, you got to pick a team. The Bears, no, they're going to get Doug Peterson, my guess. Yeah.
All right, Mitch. Hey, thanks for coming through, man. We'll have to collab sometime. Either way, it's go Birds. Hopefully something happens with the Sixers because like my man, Mr. Crockpot said, and I know some people in the chat didn't like how negative he was, but it's realistic. the team is becoming not very interesting because nothing's happening. You know what I mean? It's becoming pretty bland. Like, yeah, it's fun to watch Joel Embiid dominate, but if you know the team isn't going anywhere, then people lose interest.
Yeah. Like,
it is
people
what it
are just telling me that we got to keep Tobias. And I'm just like, dude, no.
I can't even have a conversation with somebody that says that. That's ridiculous. Tobias is not making us a better team at all right now. But thanks, Mitch. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing.
Yep, I'll talk to you
later. All right, my people. Thanks for coming through the live stream. This is what we'll be doing when we do the members only live streams. When we hit over 100 members, shout out to everybody that's a member. $5 a month. You spent more than that at Starbucks this morning. When we hit over 100 members, we will be doing members only live streams once a week, similar to what I just did, where you pop up on the screen. We have conversations. So shout out to everybody in here. Thanks for coming through. Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, and I don't need your motherfucking intro. Peace.